The oven's preheated. I'm Mario. That's my Croatian co-host, Franco, a.k.a. Papa Fazul.
Papa.
We're the Oven Podcast. Do me a favor. If you're on YouTube, spank that subscribe button, share the show, like, and leave a comment. And for our audio listeners, make sure you follow us and leave a 5-star review. Franco, where are we?
We're here at Ridgewood Station Tavern. If you're a townie, you call it Ridge. They have some of our favorite bartenders on the strip, some of the best food. They got darts. They got trivia. They got all the good beers. Who we sitting down with tonight?
Tonight, we're sitting down with UFC lightweight Charlie the Cannibal Campbell. Ridge Til Close, baby.
Ridge Til Close. Let's go.
Keep it cooking in the oven. The oven. The oven. Yep. The oven. The oven. The oven. Yep. The oven. The oven. The oven. Smells good. The oven. The oven. Yep.
Some spots in Suffolk County look like upstate New York. Like these kids are a different breed. That's all they do is paintball. So,
Yeah, for sure.
it's
What else did
different.
they do?
Right.
Tipping cows and paintball.
Hang out with your cousins. All right, I'll shut up.
We just started. Dude, thank you for coming, man. Seriously, this is
Charlie.
Yeah, man. Thanks.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah, you're the man. Franco, thank you guys.
So, right now, UFC coming off a 3-fight win streak.
Yeah.
What's next for Charlie the Cannibal?
It sounds really crazy to almost say that, like, I know as much as you guys do. Like, that's wild to think, right? But there's a lot of unknowns. There's a lot of factors, a lot of variables, travel. I mean, that's one of 1,000 different things that play into when the next one's going to be for me. So I wish I could tell you. I can't right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is there an ideal opponent that you'd like to see stand on the other side of the octagon? Or
It sounds. Another thing is, like, there are so many guys on the roster, so many lightweights that I don't even know. You know, I mean, they're not going to give me anyone ranked. That's for sure.
Yep.
And the unranked guys, you'd be surprised. There's over 100 of them. You know, so you can't say no to the UFC. It's going to be who it's going to be. They'll do what they want, and I'll just sign my name to whoever it's going to be. I don't really know. I don't know.
Just start throwing the stones,
you
man.
don't have much leverage in the beginning, at least, for sure. You know.
Yep.
The lightweight's got to be the deepest division, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Maybe it would sound biased for me to say, but I agree with that. I think there's a majority of fans that would agree. I mean, there's a lot of talent, a lot of different body builds, and it seems to be the most competitive. Yeah.
Absolutely. Speaking of lightweight, nothing lightweight about these. We got the
let's see what's
Firecracker
going on.
shrimp.
I was trying
We
to
got
fucking
the short rib empanadas.
Yep.
Did I get that right? I got
yes,
that
you
right,
did. Let's dig in here. Are you like constantly cutting weight, or are you like, what's the deal? Can you eat?
Like, what do you define as eating? Like, can I eat?
Before we got on camera, you're like, I'll have a shrimp. I'll have a
I'm
shrimp.
gonna try one. You know what I mean? We'll see what happens.
Dig in.
I'm gonna see how it is. I'm gonna taste it to the least. You know what I mean?
I'm telling you, man. We said it.
Yeah,
earlier.
cut that up for sure.
We
man.
said it earlier, but Ridgewood has some of the best food in Wanto, if not the best food in Wanto. I'm a huge fan of this spot.
Yeah, no. Every time I've been here, everything's been sick.
Yeah, you guys bartended here, didn't you?
I think I was terrible. The worst part
Oh,
of
me
the
too.
whole time.
He was amazing, dude. He looked like
I mean, I could pour beer. That's about it.
he was sitting here. He was sitting behind the bar like this. Look, he had the napkin and he was just threw it over his shoulder like he was working on a cruise, and he was whipping. I was, dude, it was unbelievable.
Yeah, I honestly, I don't know if I have a hearing problem because it seemed like I couldn't make out any drink that was being like, I had this guy repeat his drink like 6 times to me. He just freaked out. He was like, finally he screamed. He was like, a damn Budweiser. I just didn't know what he was saying, man.
How about I knock you the fuck out?
I was like, dude, I'm sorry, I don't do this shit.
Back to the lightweights. What separates you from the rest of the lightweight division?
I think there's a number of things. I know that there are many differences between someone who wants something and someone who needs something. I got into this sport because I needed, you know, the benefits of being in the UFC and being a winning fighter. I think a lot of guys get to the UFC and then, you know, they just want to be there. They want to say they got there. So I think me not becoming complacent will really hold strong and give me a competitive advantage.
Absolutely. So that speaks to your mindset. And I want to touch on something. You know, it's easy to talk about the ups and the good times and all the positive. Mm-hmm. But I want to go to, you know, the fact that you came from Cage Fury, Bellator,
I'm making a
I'm
mess.
asking a serious question. This guy's knocking over his plate.
I'm making a mess over here.
Fucking shake.
You knew? But dude, back to the mindset. You came from Cage Fury, Bellator, Ring of Combat. You get your first crack at the UFC, Dana White's Contender Series. Unfortunately, you get knocked out in the first round.
Yeah, that was rough.
What were you thinking immediately after that?
Immediately after, because I can give you like a really, really slow play-by-play of that. So I woke up on my back on the canvas, obviously. So that sudden of a immediate, I can really dive in. So all I remembered was doing so well, because I was doing so well. It's almost like I was winning the fight until the moment I did it, and I wasn't. You know what I mean? So I actually didn't know where I knew where I was. I knew I was there in the apex, but think of like you hit a home run. The ball looks like it's leaving the ballpark kind of thing, and you're turning second base, third base, and then you blink real quick, and like you're in the dugout. Like you would think, like firstly, like what just happened, but okay, like I stepped on home plate, right? So I actually opened my eyes. Maybe they used ammonia or God knows what, and the doctor was just trying to keep me on the ground. And I was having a conversation with her. I was saying, how did I win? How did I win? Like, what? Because I didn't remember. As far as I knew, I won. I just couldn't remember how. Like, I just blinked and suddenly I was there. And I thought just I just never experienced that. So she like was ignoring me initially. And then I was like, what's going on? Like, how did I win? And then I started like feeling the canvas. And I'm like, no fucking way, man. Now, like you go into the sport and kind of think you're exempt from that happening. And so finally she responds to me because she's like looking at my eyes and all this shit. And I'm like, no fucking way is this going on right now.
It'd be pissing me off if she's not talking back to me. I'm
Well,
like,
she does this all day.
Yeah,
Lady
yeah.
does this every weekend. You know, so you know, she was like, you didn't win. And now I sit up and I'm like, wait a second. I'm like, how did this happen? I see the kid, you know, jumping up and down. I'm like, what's going on here? I'm like, I could have sworn I was killing this guy. And they try to, you know, keep me on the ground. And I'm like, no, I'm standing up. Like, no fucking way. So sure enough, I'm like, someone tell me what just happened here, because I know for a fact, like I was winning this fight, you know, at least temporarily. And
I won that turn.
they were like, listen, there's going to be a replay on, and if you just wait, like, you know, you'll see it. So I'm sure they had gone through that exchange with fighters in the past. And for me, I never had, hope to never again. And it was rough. It was a tough pill to swallow. I wanted to be a good sport about it. The kid deserved a lot of credit, because once I had seen the replay and it started flashing back in my head, I'm like, well, it took a lot of balls and a lot of guts for this guy to stand in there and be tough and fight back. So, and he had been there a second time. You know, that was his second appearance on the show. And I had no, like, what's the word? Like, animosity, am I using that? Like, I had no hate for the guy. I was happy for him. And now they're taking me to the back room after the official announcement, whatever. And it starts hitting you, you know what I mean? Because you build your whole, at least for me, I felt my whole life to that moment. And it felt like it was all over. It feels like you messed it up. Everyone knows that show can be a springboard of popularity for the UFC, and it just sucked. It feels like you failed. You know, it feels like you wasted your time. A lot of different things. And then there was a whole series of months of redeveloping my mindset. So, but initially, it was like the worst thing in the world.
I can imagine.
Yeah, that was rough, dude. Yeah.
What was it inside of you that made you able to bounce back?
Probably the people around me. It was really external first, because if I had been surrounded by people that weren't go-getters and ambitious themselves, and even though I'd been around people still to this day, but at that time that some had fought, like Aljamain Sterling, unfortunately he had been knocked out in the past. Other guys on the team that had come up short one way or another trying to get to the UFC. But others as well that are advisors and influencers of mine that are just either entrepreneurs or, you know, and that do something really well in life. They just try to relate to me and sharing their stories of how they came up short, at least for a time, you know. And if it weren't for maybe them, and I was surrounded with people that aren't so strong-minded themselves, and maybe I wouldn't even have tried again, you know. But it's a real tough one when you come up short, at least in this sport too, because of how dangerous it is. It wasn't just trying to rebuild mentally, but like physically as well. Like I was concussed. It was a pretty serious concussion, and just the two together was really tough. It was really tough, but I learned so much. You have to become an inverse paranoid. You know what a paranoid person is? Like someone who thinks the world's out to get them. So what I had to do is develop this mindset of an inverse paranoid where you just take any little event. It sounds cliche. You take any little event and you say, okay, this was, part of the process for my eventual success. And if you just never get down about things, just keep that smile on your face kind of thing, that enthusiasm and that mentality will eventually get you there, because we just beat ourselves up in our own heads,
Absolutely, we're own worst enemy.
It's
it's wild.
It's so much part of the game, man.
Yeah.
That mental side of things, and
Yeah.
just knowing like, hey, this is just part of the process. Biggest part is not making that same mistake twice, obviously. But
Yeah.
in your line of work, easier
like
said than fucking.
It's so, well, first of all, like it's proven that the brain is just a paranoid organ. Like it wants to protect you from taking any chances, right? So
That's how we survived. That's how we evolved.
Right. Think of like cavemen not wanting to go out, a bear might eat them. So everything was about fear and anxiety. So imagine I'm trying to build myself back up to getting back into this cage, and my brain knows what happened the last time I was in there. So there's so much fear attached to it, but it's all, of course, you have to come to grips that it could happen again. But really, your brain is just scaring you so much so that it's just these imaginations, and it's rough. It was really rough, man. But I learned a lot about psychology. I started doing psychology and studying psychology. So I turned it into a positive. At least I'd like to think, it was really tough for my brand too. I talked about the show and how much you can do. I went from this guy that, forget about like local confidence and popularity, but I think people were beginning to know my name. All I had to do, it seemed, was to show out and do well on that show, which I was doing. Yeah. And I would have had this, I would have been put on this pedestal for fans to see, maybe the company get behind me a little more. So then I went from this person that had all this credibility, and then maybe this is my own mind telling me these things. But in reality too, though, if you YouTube my name, that was just a top thing and me getting crushed. Right. Because it got so much viewership and the deal they had with ESPN. So that was tough, but it became a goal of mine. I was like, I need to top that. I need to do something that at least for my own, so I could sleep at night. I don't want something like you just YouTube my name, and it's just like there's no way I was gonna allow that to happen.
Well, now we YouTube your name, man, and that's one of my favorite videos, dude. When you just hit DC with the rock line.
Right. So
dude, like that's hands down one of like I was watching that live. When you hit that, I was like, no fucking way.
Yeah.
I'm like, here we go.
I appreciate that.
No, for sure, man. That was awesome.
Yeah, it felt good. It felt good. I appreciate it.
And DC loved it too.
Yeah, I gave him a little bit of a warning.
Oh.
And yeah, because you know what? Like maybe I wouldn't even talk so much about that, but I was getting so much heat from so many fans because he's such a legend. And again, there's this sport more than others. Again, I'm biased to saying this. There's never such a sport where fans believe they know so much, but they're really so far away from what's actually going on in there. But even after the fight, something like that, they had no idea that I actually gave the guy a little bit of a respectful heads up and asked him if it was okay. But yeah, the fans can really crush you in this game, man. What people can do now with their phones and the keyboard warrior type thing, we can go down a rabbit hole about that. But I was able to rebuild my brand and prove how resilient I really am. And I think people can relate more with someone who hasn't had just all rainbows, to the side of the mountain kind of thing. There's going to be adversity. I mean, everyone can relate more to that. And I'm appreciative to the experience I had now.
And you haven't lost since then.
Right.
So, obviously you turned the right corner.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
Now it's like you said, just never being comfortable.
Yeah. You got to keep working hard, you got to be your own best cheerleader, but at the same time look in the mirror and say, where can I get better? And look at your own film and be honest with yourself and how you can improve and anywhere in life, But this game, you better be honest with yourself, or you're gonna be, taught a lesson in there, So yeah. I don't want that. No.
I always say you gotta think that you're number one, but always work like you're number two.
Yeah, that's a good one. I've never heard that, but I agree.
I've never heard you say that either.
I say it up here.
He saved it for the season 2 finale.
Yeah.
Fuck you guys.
Late at night, like tomorrow's the day.
I'm writing it on my board at home.
He wasn't answering me last night. He's sitting there cooking up.
That's good.
But dude, I want to go back to DC for a second. I want to bring up his daddy, Jon Jones. Is Aspinall Jones gonna happen?
I don't think so.
No. Why not?
I don't think so. Why don't I think so? For the same reasons I think majority of people think. He's a much younger, probably at this point, more athletic than Jones. And look at what Khabib did. He got in there. You know, he's obviously a freak. Really was the best fighter of all time at one point, and at least active at one point. And he got in. Everyone knows his brand is protected. He retired undefeated. Why would Jones? Why would Jones go and put that legacy on the line just to shut up again the fans really being the ones that, and it's these guys that that would never say these things to his face, kind of people that are building up this hype that he's ducking and whatnot. Listen, I'd love to see the fight. I just don't think it happens. I don't think the UFC is going to give him if you can figure out the amount of money that he might be able to make because his brand is so strong, because if he could put a number on that, and the UFC says, all right, well, you'll get that to fight, then it would make sense, because I understand. I understand. Yeah. I know what it's like, the guys he could go and do seminars all around the world, travel for free, and get paid a fortune, retiring right now or finishing with another fight that he definitely wins. We probably all could agree that he's got to be somewhat threatened by Aspinall's, his potential to win. Yeah. So I mean, any fighters, any opponents, but Aspinall is very confident too.
Yeah. He's young. He's hungry, for sure.
Right. He wants what Jones has.
Yeah.
He'll get it. He'll have it really fast if he beats Jones. I mean, it'll happen overnight. Yep. And then it's tainted brand. So
I'd rather see the Jones Pereira fight. That would be.
I don't.
No, I just think it would be a slugfest in there.
No, I think Jones would take him down and successfully. And
Really?
yeah.
I feel the same way. I feel the same way.
Yeah.
I can't see him catching Jones, and if that's the case, Jones takes him down.
That kick to Stipe, bro.
Oof. I think that whole weekend was combat sports propaganda, because it started with Jake Paul and Tyson the night before.
Dude.
And people don't understand, again, these fans,
What were they expecting? Like,
right.
That was more of like a charity boxing almost for them. Like, there was real boxing beforehand, and then the main event was like a sparring. It was like a glorified sparring session.
Goes to show you, man, it's not what you can do, it's just who knows you. And
that's it, bro. But the problem is, you can bet on that.
Right.
And
that drives me crazy.
And you can bet for a knockout. And Jake Paul comes out and says he's purposely not trying to knock out Mike Tyson. So why is that a bet on any sports book?
Well, the integrity is now being questioned. Anything Jake Paul gets involved in going forward. I think he was trying in the first 1, 2, and some parts of the third round.
Like
I only watched it one time. You couldn't pay me to watch that shit ever again. But I'm telling you, he was trying to do some things that he had success with in the past, and I think it was just propaganda, of course. I mean, no one knows. Listen, you bring a videographer in the gym, you have Tyson. Hey, listen, you give him a countdown, you tell him to go as hard as he can for 10 seconds. The guy takes a 10-minute break.
Yeah.
People are thinking he's fucking training like he was when he was in his 20s. Yeah. And you gotta be kidding me.
He looked, dude, from the videos, he looked like a moose. Like, he looked like he was 40-year-old Mike Tyson again.
No, come on.
He was not a believer.
No, I'm not solid on that. But and there's so many kind of gray areas and what you can do, what you can't do with gambling as being a professional athlete. So I just don't, right? And I'll put out some of these videos, what I believe and all that shit. But I didn't bet on it. But if I was allowed to, if I was actually told you're not going to get in trouble, no chance of getting in trouble, you can bet on this, that I would have really, really bet heavy on Jake Paul, because could not believe that the propaganda was so strong that it even influenced the line makers. I'm serious.
Right.
Yeah.
No, you're not wrong.
You gotta be kidding me, man. Some of my best of friends, I'm like, dude, blast it. Yeah.
Just send it home, dude.
Yeah.
That's
You're good. It's like having a Bitcoin.
How much can you bet?
Yeah.
That's one of those, though, that if you blast it and then you lose, you feel like it,
But we could go with that shit all day.
Yeah.
That's why I'm more than a quarterback all day.
That's why I don't gamble too much.
Talking about something that's not propaganda. not from that weekend, might have been the weekend after. Mike Perry's Dirty Boxing. Dude, I'm super interested.
Me too.
Is it, how many, I mean, is that something you can even get yourself involved in, or?
At least not now, but maybe in the future.
Yeah.
It's something I would explore. I think that'd be great. That, you know, I already spent so much time getting my wrestling better, take down defense. Now you don't have to worry about that. And boxing with elbows, who knows? I think that's great. You know, I don't think I could have maybe get an eventual invitation to something like that, having not been a UFC fighter at least.
Yeah.
And I want to run with the UFC for a while. So to think about it, it's like a waste of thoughts, you know. But you ask me, and I would say it's something I would maybe consider in the future. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, UFC on your resume, the possibilities are endless now. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
this is what looks better than that.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, you said it. Yeah.
Bro, this Crunchwrap is fantastic.
What is that,
I
the
feel like
chicken
it's got
crunch wrap?
the same consistency
chicken-
on the outside.
Yeah,
the
right?
shot. Yeah, I can tell the shell is.
It's like the little,
Done right.
the little press. Yeah, they know what they're doing over here. Yeah, I went with the Crunchwrap, side of onion rings. My dad would be super proud of me, even though he's not gonna watch. But
You got the
Ridgewood, man.
chicken Caesar wrap. Oh, you
So
went with the
good.
tots, huh?
Yeah.
I went with fries. Got the
Trying,
steak
trying,
sandwich,
trying.
some barbecue.
That looks nice. Don't be afraid, brother. Get in there.
Yeah.
dig on in. Come on.
Don't be afraid of that cheese, man.
Whoa. Dude, I don't think you answered my question before. Actually, I don't think I asked the question.
I don't think you've asked anything.
I asked you if you thought the Aspinall Jones fight would happen, and you kind of gave them both their props, but you didn't tell me who you thought was going to win if it did happen. So who wins that fight?
When I get to ask questions like that, because I've been fighting so long, I know that anything can happen. I'm gonna fucking choke. So I'm gonna sign a waiver fucking before I start the next podcast. So because I know anything can happen. Let me get that out there quickly. Basically, I think that if they fought 10 times, Aspinall wins 6 times. I don't know what the fuck happens if they fight. All I know is if they somehow ran it 10 times, which would never happen, I think Aspinall wins 6 out of 10 times. That's all. That's
I
all.
like it. I know.
What a politically correct answer.
That's the right way to say it. That's the right way to say it, in my opinion.
No, I agree.
But it's UFC, and they don't fight 10 times.
Right.
Who wins? It's UFC 400, whatever you want to call it. UFC 320.
I don't know which simulation takes place that night, on that moment, in that minute, of that second, you know? Like, I don't know, but I do know, you know.
You give the edge to Aspinall. You said 6 out of 10.
Right.
So
I don't
the
know
edge.
what's gonna happen. Yeah.
Okay.
You know, I feel like UFC fighters are characters. There's so many different like types of you guys out there.
Yeah.
And some of them, I don't know. I just feel like some have just become so like cringe over the last couple of years. You know, especially since like UFC has been like a forefront on social media and everything else. I want to do a cringe, cringy, and cringiest. Can we do something like that?
Yeah, I can't promise you the best answer, but because some of the shit I've done arguably is cringy, so
Well, I like that you say it.
yeah.
I want to go Colby Covington, Henry Cejudo, Sean O'Malley. I want to know your cringe, cringy, and cringiest.
Okay. Well, we'll say Sean O'Malley is cringiest.
Ding, ding, ding.
Cejudo. What were the other two?
Cejudo and Covington.
Yeah, I know, but the other options of cringy.
Oh,
Well,
cringe and cringy.
all right.
Cringe is like just borderline. Cringy is like
All right. We'll say. But let me finish. So Cejudo, cringy. We have O'Malley, cringiest.
Yep.
I don't think Colby's cringy at all.
No?
Really?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't. No, I don't. I think he's fucking genius, and he's gotten paid probably times 10 what he would have if he hadn't opened his mouth and the things he's done. So anyone judging, just people raising their hand and saying, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, but I wish I had what that guy had. In my opinion, that's it.
That's fair.
But yeah, I swear to
We were
God.
talking about that before. You got to market
Yeah.
yourself in,
Yep.
in the UFC.
Yeah, come on, man.
And I
That
only
shit
bring,
all
I only
happens
bring
or
up I only bring up Colby because when this episode drops, he's headlining the UFC Fight Night on Saturday. So it's him and Joaquin Buckley.
That's a Saturday?
Next Saturday when this airs.
Oh, when this drops. Where are they fighting though? The Apex or the size
That
cage?
I'm actually not too
Is it
sure.
in Tampa?
Is it in Tampa? It
I'm
might
gonna
be.
look.
Yeah, last fight of the year. He finds himself headlining a fight night. It's actually a good fight.
I think he pulls out. What do you think happens out of that? No, I don't know, man. I mean, Joaquin's younger and is hungrier. Colby's good. I think he break his ankle in that last fight he had.
Something like that. He looked like he was
good.
losing a step. I mean, probably because he was injured.
Was his last fight against Leon Edwards?
Yeah.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
I think
It is in Tampa.
5 rounds.
Yeah, it's got to be 5 rounds, right?
Colby's gonna win.
Colby's taking it.
Well, 6 out of 10 times.
6 out of 10 times, it works every time.
I like Buckley though.
I don't think he goes 6 out of 10 too. He doesn't want to go like
No.
4 out of 7.
I do.
3 out of 5.
No, I go out of 10, but I'll move the fucking needle. You know, if I really think that majority of the time, out of 10 though. Come on, out of 100. Even number.
Oh, whatever you got, dude.
I would stop as far as where I go. Yeah.
What would be your favorite cheat meal? Or like the first meal you eat after you get out of the cage after a big win?
It's kind of crazy because, well, you know, when you're cutting weight, you're craving everything with flavor, anything you see, pictures of anything, and you get to rehydrate, and that kind of you're fulfilled because you do load back up on all the vitamins and minerals that you deprive yourself of and drive yourself out of. There isn't even that. I have no appetite after I actually fight. Nah, I'm serious. At least that's just how I am.
Okay.
My body and mind kind of, you know, the last thing I'm thinking of, to be honest with you.
Is food?
You actually eat so much.
Prior
No,
to?
I mean, there's a lot of eating. Of course, everyone's at the water weight manipulation,
Yep.
but nah, I'd say I think, I don't even know. After the last fight, one of my buddies bought like Krispy Kreme donuts. Nah, I didn't ask for it, but I was excited to have it.
For sure.
Yeah.
How could you not eat a Krispy Kreme donut?
I got back to my Airbnb at like super late, like 5 in the morning, and yeah, I was excited to see that box on the fucking table.
That's like the toughest part, man. Because when we do the media for UFC with Fox Sports Radio, we're there until like 3 a.m. until after all the final media is done, the interviews. I'm like, we've been here all day.
That's tough, man.
It's crazy.
Just there all night.
Yeah, and on the undercard, I guess you get
Yeah.
older fight nights, a little less media. After the last fight, I actually went right to the hospital, so there was no keep him here bullshit. The hospital thing takes forever as well.
Oh, I'm sure.
But if the UFC's got communication with a specific hospital nearby the Apex, so they kind of get you in as fast as they can, but you're still. I've never been to the ER and not been there for at least fucking 3 hours, like no matter what.
Oh yeah.
Vegas or anything, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you're a local Long Island guy. I want to know if we're going out to dinner. The restaurant is your choice. Where you
Yes,
picking?
I'm the wrong guy, dude.
Yeah.
I,
You just don't eat? Is that
He
like,
just says that a big food guy.
well,
this gotta be a restaurant. Yo, I have so many food questions. I have so many food questions for him. Like,
dude, I'm so plain with things. If I cook, it's a joke. It's like the most bland, tasteless. Kids that are starving with it's like I'm good. So,
Guy was built for the weight
and
cut.
I don't really treat myself like very often at all. So, bro, I don't know.
all right, that's fine. What would you be doing if you weren't fighting? Obviously not a fucking chef or anything like that.
Well, I will. No, trust me, no. I will get into public speaking at some point. I don't think that'll be a career that, is bringing me income. I want to just do it to give back. But I do love teaching martial arts as well. So at some point, I will explore. I teach now a little bit, but I would probably see myself owning at least one gym in the future. Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. Thanks.
Holiday season.
Yeah.
What's one thing that's on your adult wish list?
Adult wish list?
Yeah, it's just like,
Oh, it sounds a little, you know.
he's thinking naughty already.
Yeah, but, I mean, when you
He
said
winked- he
adult,
winked- he
my
winked-
adult wish list.
Anthony winked at me when he said it. kind of fucking, kind of.
He's like, you're in Spencer's. What are you
yeah,
getting?
What kind of,
Oh, I'm a simple guy, man. I'm a simple guy. Like, you know, like my mom's always asking me like what every holiday season, like what I want. I always tell her nothing. Like, don't spend your money. It's fine. I swear to you, dude. Like I have what I need in life. I'm pretty simple and not too materialistic. I don't know. I don't really believe in spending money. I think investing money is smarter. So I think everyone needs to cut this norm of fucking spending so much money.
Consumerism is crushing us.
It's what's sold to, that's the behavior they want us to do, you know, and no, it's not necessary. I'm all right. Got what I need, man.
All right.
Yeah.
nice and easy.
Yeah.
What's one investment you're pushing right now? Like, what is there anything anyone to keep their eyes on?
I'm reading more and more about these cryptos. I don't know enough to make a statement on it or say something even somewhat educated about it, but it does seem. I mean, you've seen these charts. You know what I mean? We all missed the fucking boat. I'm doing this shit right now. You know, so
I certainly wouldn't be hanging out with him. I'll tell you that.
yeah, right. So
It's just a weekly thing.
I don't know. I've seen some of these coins that are like, you know, 0.00001, not even a cent. You know,
Right.
like a tenth of a cent, and like, you know, why not me, man? Why not this coin? Let me just fucking
Yeah, why can't I just hit
buy
that?
2 million of this coin for like a few dollars, and you never know,
Yeah.
right? I don't know.
Rob's over
I'm
here
not
fucking
saying
sweating.
I'm not saying that I would take, you know, holiday Christmas money and instead of buying gifts for family or loved ones and putting it into crypto, I'm saying that if someone needs something, like I recently became a godfather,
Nice.
whatever,
nice.
yeah, whatever my brother tells me his son needs, my nephew, that's different. That's different.
Right.
Yeah, I don't really need anything, to be honest with you guys. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
With all that being said, Mom, get me the new fucking 4K N64
new
that's
Xbox.
coming out.
Yeah.
That new N64 and 4K coming out. Beat Rob's ass in Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah, man. Listen, God bless you, man. You deserve it. You deserve it.
We're all texting our moms like, "Hey, don't spend the money." Freckle's like, "Yeah, I need Super Smash Brothers."
She's gonna watch this on Wednesday and be like, well,
I guess I'm on the vine.
Let's go back to Tampa quick. We also have Cub Swanson and Billy Quarantillo.
Oh, Billy Q.
yeah, Billy Q.
Cool guy,
Yep.
talented fighter, and he's got a lot of youth on. He's definitely got at least 5
Yeah.
years on
Oh,
Swanson,
he might
right?
even have more. Cub's been doing it for a while.
And Cub's one of those guys that just like, even you know, at his age now, he'll show up like he's not there for the check. He's looking to win.
He's like Clay Guida, dude. Like,
Yeah,
he's
that's
a-
what's great about the show money, win money. You know, like the guy's there to win.
Yep.
It's gonna be a good fight. I haven't spent training time with Billy Q in a long time, so I don't know what he's been working on, but there were sparring sessions that he was standing with me toe to toe. You know, and he's more a jiu-jitsu guy. I'd imagine he's only grown on that, and this will probably be a great performance for him. You know, because he's got to be. I think Billy Q's got to be like 33.
6 years.
6 years.
6 years.
Wow,
Swanson's
yeah.
41. He's 35.
Right. So I mean, I think Billy Q goes in there and it just feels like he's the both of them very like experienced veterans at this point. But I think that age difference will play a big role. Yeah.
I just can't wait to see the Mackenzie Dern walkout. That's it.
Yeah.
Weigh
Weigh
in.
in. I mean,
Oh,
yeah.
She's number one when it comes to that.
Yeah. Let's be honest. She's yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I want him. He came up with this. He wants to know 4 UFC fighters.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, hit him with this. I mean, I'm interested in what your answer is. Is.
Tomorrow, you're hiring 4 bodyguards. What 4 UFC fighters are you hiring?
Active or overall?
Overall.
And I could take them from a certain generation or time in their career or how they are now.
Now you're asking me too many questions.
Well, you know, listen, bro. It's
No, we'll take them as they were. We'll take
As
them
they in their prime. Everyone's in their
everyone's
prime.
in their prime.
All right, Vanderlei Silva, back when he was, you know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
he had mitts that like underneath his mitts.
Vanderlei Silva, like 1998.
I've been making these videos, trying to find.
Yeah, fuck, there's some fucking animals, man. Yeah, they fought each other, but I love Chuck Liddell. Spent some good quality time with him. I'll take Chuck Liddell 2008 or 9.
With the Iceman shorts.
Yeah, yeah. Such an
He
awesome
was
guy.
feeling it at the last UFC event. What was that UFC?
Yeah, he looked like he was having a good time.
Yeah, he was.
yeah. I don't want to put the camera on this guy.
Yeah,
That's all right. I can't even watch the fight. But he's a really cool guy, man. He gave me his phone number. He was like really there for me. I had a lot of questions for him when I met him back. It was like must have been like 6 months ago now. Yeah, about two more. You want the 2 more bodyguards?
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar is a fucking animal, right? I mean, he's huge. So maybe his presence would just really cut down a lot of bullshit altercations, right? Maybe things don't break out in the first place. You gotta
Everyone Brock's in there.
think about these things.
You see him congratulating the kid that beat his son in wrestling?
No.
That was a funny picture. I just saw it on social media.
No.
Yeah, it's him. You see him like a hand on his knee, leaning over, shaking the kid's hand. He just looks like a
monster.
unit.
Yeah,
It's like a
yeah.
grizzly shaking the kid's hand.
Yeah, Brock for sure. I'd be the last guy on that list. Yeah.
Wow. Wait, you said Brock? You said
Yeah, no, that's
Chuck?
only- that's only
that was
3.
only 3. It was a 4. You got you got
Okay.
4 corners. You gotta.
Okay. That's true. Honestly, and they all fought each other, but Rampage Jackson, freaking monster.
That's a
Oh, you're all about the oldies, huh?
That's a unit of 4.
That's
right
why I
there.
grew up watching these guys, man. Yeah, they're monsters, man.
Wow,
I would throw Dan Hendo in there just because I want to like hang out with him.
Right.
Be like, oh,
pay him
you-
to chill with me.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
now with
beat him up
DEI,
for
I'd probably have to say Ronda Rousey or something like that.
Yeah, she can hang out with us. She can hang out with us. I pick all girls. Dern,
If you were this with if you went like
It's
if you went like Joanna Young Jetrick, like I love her.
He's
by the way.
obsessed.
yeah, that's attractive. Yeah.
Her and that would be if you were this with 4 girls off the bat, that would be
She
fucking
told
hilarious.
me that's how I fucking ripped it up.
Where can everyone find you?
My Instagram is my cage name. Well, a good majority of it. Charlie the Cannibal. That's my Instagram. My Twitter presence or X is like it's borderline doesn't even exist, but it's the Cannibal MMA. YouTube, it's I think it's Cannibal UFC. Again, these are things that I'm really going to be building,
Dialing in the
going on in the near future. But it's super tough, man, to be an athlete full time and try to do that. Especially in the beginning where you're trying to budget where you're going to spend, time and money. Getting videographers, you're trying to get people to collab and do things pro bono and get internships. It's hard, man. It's hard to do all this shit. Man. Yeah, it's not easy.
We
man.
feel you 100%.
Yeah, you
It's
guys
a
know,
grind.
man.
It's a
season 2
grind.
finale. I mean, blessing that you're sitting here with us, but it's a fucking,
you guys
it's
are
a
a good
fucking
time.
process,
Yeah.
man.
Right, yeah, right. I'm sure you guys know. Man.
sure.
It's tough, but definitely plan on doing a lot more consistent and active posting at
Dude,
least.
let us know, man. We're around the corner.
Yeah, we already told you. We're
Yeah.
down. We're down to make some content.
All right, cool.
Be a lot of fun. But I got one more for you before we let you go. I know you don't go to restaurants. I know you don't want to eat. But if you had to go to dinner with one person, dead or alive, could ask any questions to,
Oh shit.
who would it be?
Oh my god. I'd love to go to dinner now with Donald Trump. You know what I mean? So he's alive, thank God. They fucking tried to fuck us on that, but yeah, but going with a live man. Yeah.
Why him?
I want to get to know him. I think because he's so organic in person and on camera. It doesn't seem like anything scripted. Everyone knows he's not writing things down. At least for the most part, what a lot of other politicians are doing. So it seems like we're getting the real him. You know what I mean? But there's got to be more to it. I'd love to get to know him personally. It seems like everything he's himself, right? So that's what I would trust too. He would be himself. Just cool.
100%.
Yeah.
I want to hang out with Donald Trump just to see if he cheats on the golf course. This guy's pulling birdies and
Franco cheats.
this guy's pulling birdies and eagles out all day, and he's walking around with one hand on his hip. I'm like, dude, this is come on.
You know what's funny? I took a golf lesson. Let me give you the whole story, actually. So some buddies of mine were going golfing regularly, right? And I'd been invited many times. And I had heard that they were gambling on these games, right? So I'm like, all right, well, I'm not gonna fucking go there, no experience, and get ripped up because they're gonna make it a money game, and I'm gonna get my pride involved, or maybe they'll hustle me and play like shit. I don't know. So I can't even hit the ball. So So I went and took some lessons. I was like, guys, I'll be good to go in a few weeks, right? So I took a few lessons, and I was gonna like double hustle them. I was gonna let it rock, play like shit, let them play like shit, gamble, and then hit them over the head with it, right? And this never happened though. The story sucks because I took my first lesson. The guy said, all right, you know, come back tomorrow. I scheduled with him again. He goes, okay, I want you, now that you got the swing down, take between, this is what he said, take between 400 and 700 swings between now and next week, right? So I was so gung-ho about it that I went the next day, of course. I go to the drive. I was there like 4.5 hours, dripping sweat. I couldn't walk the next day. Never played golf. Never got to play. yeah. I overdid.
You got a workout at the driving range.
Dude, I was like, I'm gonna take this kid's money. I have no idea what's happening. But listen, it's my fault. But if he had said, it's common sense. I shouldn't have taken that many swings. I know this because I bought the X amount of balls. You know, and I bought so many balls and I rented them, whatever. And I couldn't play. I never played again.
Golf is different, bro. It's different. It's different. Like
anything with the torque is
it's like those I don't. It's like your deflectors or something, whatever they call it. It's like the quick twitch muscles that you're not used to using, like coming back. It's like it gets me so like my ankles, my hips, just absolutely ruined after golf.
Right above my ass on like my right side. It was so fucked up. I fucked my whole life
That's killing
up.
me. Fighter couldn't handle golf.
Basically, yeah. But I never got to hustle these guys, and they got away with one, man. They would have suffered bad.
So you've still never been on the course?
I haven't played since. Been almost probably 1.5 years ago. That was. Yeah.
Now that's some content we gotta get out there. Maybe we gotta get on the course together.
Yeah, when it gets nice out.
I'm down. If you guys have patience, I probably suck so bad.
I'm awful. I haven't golfed in 4 years.
It's all right. Rob's really good, but Rob definitely cheats. That's a fact.
Just smiling.
Oh yeah, dude. My ball moves every time. Like
You gambling on the game and doing that?
no, this is
right.
just messing around.
Dude,
Okay.
thank you. Appreciate it.
You guys
This
are
was
awesome,
great.
man.
Seriously, thank you for coming.
Thank you, guys.
Take us home, kid.
Dude, don't forget, spank that subscribe button, share the show, follow us, and don't forget, there's always an open seat for you at the oven.
Yes, sir.
Don't forget, we teamed up with Underdog Fantasy. We have a promo code OVEN. We're gonna give you 50% cash back on your deposit, maximum $500. That's a free $250 in the bag for you if you do it the right way. It's free money. Money in the bag. And Dubby Energy. Same code OVEN, get you 10% off your first order. I think every order actually, correct? Every order moving forward. 10% off Dubby Energy drinks. They're the clean energy. We love them. You're gonna love them.
Keep it cooking in the oven.